Hello friends, welcome back to Little Monkeys and Me. I am Fernanda and this is episode 12. For those that don't know me, like I said, I'm Fernanda and I live in North Carolina with my family, with my 3 kids, my husband and our puppy Luna. I am a homeschool mom who also is a knitter and crafter, and today's episode will only feature knitting. Sometimes I crochet, sometimes I sew, embroider. You never know what's gonna happen or whatever I'm gonna feel like doing, but today is just knitting. It's been almost a month since we last saw each other and it's been a busy month like always. I knit a lot of things and this was a month of gift knitting. We'll also talk about our KAL that just ended and prices. I will also talk about my plans for the Shawlography knit along. That is gonna start on Friday. I didn't say what day it was, but today is Tuesday, October 6th. And yeah, so I only have a few more days before that starts, which I'm so excited about. And so let's go ahead and start the episode. Where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram as littlemonkeys_me. On Ravelry is Little Monkeys and Me, and you can also send me an email at littlemonkeysandme@gmail.com. Now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you what I've been up to just really quick. On the 18th of September, we celebrated the kind of like Independence Day of Chile. That's where I'm originally from. And together with my parents and my brother, we get together and we cook a lot, and I'm gonna probably put some footage at the end of the episode if you want to stay and see some of the things that we made. Also on Instagram, if you follow me there, you probably followed along as we made and put together food and cooked, and I know a lot of you enjoyed it, which made me so very happy because it was so much fun to share with you. I have a highlight that says Fiestas Patrias and on my, what's it called, like my Instagram page, and you can go below my picture, below my bio, then there's like little circles and those are called highlights. So if you click on one of them, the one that says Fiestas Patrias, then you can see everything. I saved them all because they were on stories. So that's kind of what we've been up to. We keep on going with school. Fall is here, but it's North Carolina, and so you never know. We had like a week of colder weather, and then nothing. Now we're back to like 80 degrees, which I'm not mad about because I do love the heat, but I kind of want to wear all the things that I've been making lately, and so I can't wait. And like I said before, we finished our KAL last Thursday, so September 30th, ended our KAL. And let me tell you, I am so happy. We had 151 finished objects in our KAL, and then we had over 400 posts for our Instagram hashtag. And I cannot believe that when Ruth and I started this, when we talked about it, and we're like, well, you know what, we'll just be happy if just the 2 of us were doing it. And then if like 2 people joined, we would be over the moon. And then more and more people joined in these 4 months. These last 4 months have been extremely fun. I've made new friends. I've met so many of you, and not to mention, I think we have all started a very long list of shawls that we want to make at some point, which that's a good thing, right? So yes, and that we have 4. I have 4 winners. She has 5 on her channel, and I will tell you I'll tell you 2 after my FOs and 2 after my whips. So let's get started. I don't know. I won't make promises. I won't even talk about how long this is. Today I'm just having water because it is warm enough, and I'm wearing a shawl. Oh, let's talk about that. I figured since we finished our Across the Pond shawl KAL, I will wear my Across the Pond shawl, which I made with yarn from the beautiful Emma from Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company that my wonderful friend Ruth sent me, and I absolutely love it. I'm not going to take it off because then I can't put it back on, and hair, and you know, but you've seen it before. I talked extensively about this and how much I love the yarn, and I've smelled it and talked about it, so we can move on. But yeah, this is my beautiful shawl, and I also have a project page for it, so if you want to go check it out, you can go see you can see a better picture of it. So it's all on my Instagram. Today's FOs. So I finished 8 finished objects. So the last time I podcast, it was the 10th of September. Today's the 6th. It's been less than a month and I have 8. But they're not all big. They're not small, but they're not big. And all of them but one, it's for me. Because I started on Christmas knitting. I don't know if I'm going to be as... last year I made sweaters and kind of bigger gifts. I don't know if I'm going to be that ambitious this year, but I'm definitely going to do some gift knitting. And I know that not everyone likes to knit gifts, and that's totally fine. I think you need to use this precious and beautiful talent that we have, and this craft that we have, you know, worked on. You need to use it however you want to, because this is for fun. So you need to use it how it makes you happy. Let's start with the Spindrift shawl. I'm not gonna say who they're gonna belong to, and as it is, I might tell my family not to even watch. But this is gonna be a gift. And last time, I believe I had started it, maybe. But this is the Spindrift shawl. And oh, look at that. It's just so cute. I love when it curls. Like on crescent shawls, you get this little curl at the end because of the way that it's made after you block it. And it's not a very big shawl. It's a 1 skein shawl. And I use Sewrella. Or Sewrella. I really don't know how to say it. Sewrella? It might be Sewrella. I always say Sewrella, but it might be Sewrella. Sewrella's yarns, they are actually located here in North Carolina. Only like an hour, 20 minutes away from me. But it is not an in-store physical location. They just have a warehouse where they dye their yarn. But their yarn is gorgeous. If you like hand-dyed yarn, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I own a lot of it. And it gets to me pretty quickly since I don't live that far. And I've made this before. This is my second one. And I made it a while back with 2 different colors. I think I've worn it in one of the first few episodes. Maybe either the first or second episode of the podcast. And it's a Helen Stewart. And I did, as you can see, there's almost no hump. There's a tiny, tiny bit. And last time I told you that I followed a video that made an extra yarn over here at the top, which makes it stretch a little bit more, and I think that did help. So go back to my last video and go under the notes and you will see the link to the video that I followed. So I think I like it. I think it's gonna be loved. These are grade 1 skein shawls. You don't even use the whole entire skein. And it is a fast knit. I only did it in like 4 days maybe. And it's so fun. I mean, I don't mind purling. So if you mind purling, it does have a lot of stockinette, as you can see. I mean, a lot, that's not that much. I mean, we do a lot more stockinette on even a sweater. But yeah. So, and then you have a little bit of lace on the bottom, but it's really not, it's not hard lace, just yarn overs. But it does make it does give it a beautiful, I think, look. And I do love this shawl. So I highly recommend. So this is one gift done. And I am planning on making another one of these, but in a different color for my grandmother. But I'm waiting for that yarn to come. And so this is FO1. The next one is these. These are goldfinch, the goldfinch socks. I do not remember if I had one done last time or if I had none of them done. I don't remember. I guess I could look. No, I didn't. So I cast these on after the episode last time. And these are on West Yorkshire Spinners on colorway Goldfinch. It actually does look like a goldfinch. It is amazing. I mean, if you know the bird or if you want to go and look at a picture, then you can see that it is exactly the same colors. And I love self-striping yarn. I do love seeing, it's exciting to keep on knitting so then you can see what comes next. And this is just this is for a man in my life. I'm not gonna say who. And this is my just vanilla sock pattern. I cast on 60 stitches on 2.5 millimeters. I used my 9-inch Chiago because I love them. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I did do, well, you know that I love, sorry if the lighting today, it's just, we're getting into the winter months and, well, winter. We're getting into darker days and the light goes in and out, and today's been cloudy all day. But hopefully you can see I did an eye or portrait heel, which are my favorite. But I don't think I've mentioned this. A while back, I was watching Nicole from The Gentle Knitter, and she talked about how she likes to do on both sides of the heel flap. She does, I believe, she does 3 stitches of garter stitch. So she always knits the first 3 and she always knits the last 3. I only do 2. You could do 3, but I like doing 2. So I always knit the first 2 and the last 2 of the heel flap. And it gives you a little bit of a rich, I don't think you're gonna be able to see it, so I'm gonna do a close-up later of what it looks like on my socks. And I like the look of it. I think it looks really nice. I don't think it looks bad without it. And she did say that she started doing that so it could be easier to pick up stitches. I have done socks without doing that, and it's still not hard to pick up stitches. But if you are having a hard time, I would say do those garter stitches on the side, and you can try that. Also, I don't think I've talked about, but the way when you are picking up the gusset stitches and then you have to pick up to the front of the sock, that last stitch that I pick up, I kind of do it. I do an extra one that it's in between the starter of the front and the gussets that you could pick up through that little garter. And I do kind of in between, but then I twist that stitch. I do it through the back loop so it can twist it and help so I don't have a hole. I don't know if you have holes there. I don't ever have to go back and close holes. I don't have the hole when I make it. That's usually how it works. So yeah, I mean, these are you see my vanilla sock all the time. And I think they make these very interesting when you have a fun self-striping pattern. So this is a colorway Goldfinch. And I like them. I do like, it smells really shippy and I love it. And these ones are blocked, mostly because they're going to go as a gift. I don't always block my socks, but if they're going to be a gift, yes. So that takes me to my second one. So it takes me to my other pair of socks, which are another pair of West Yorkshire Spinners, but this one, it's called, the colorway is called Owl. And as you can see, it has a lot of the colorways of like a barn owl, and it is beautiful. These ones are not blocked yet, so as you can, it's not as neat. Oh, I was gonna tell you. Okay, so I usually don't care if my socks if I do, like some people do contrasting for the heel flap because they don't want to disrupt the stripes. I think of Alexandra from Fiberbound all the time. Every time I'm making socks now and I break the stripes, I'm like, oh, she would be freaking out. But she doesn't like to break up the stripes. I don't mind. As like you see on this one, it totally broke up the stripes because it usually should go yellow and then you would have this color after. But because I went to the heel flap, those colors are here. So here we went back to, we went from yellow to another yellow. And instead of going to the right color, I really don't care. I don't mind. I don't think they look bad. But if you do, there is something you could do. Even if you don't want to use a contrasting color, because sometimes you don't have a perfect contrasting color. Like I don't have another color that would go perfectly with this, and I'm not gonna go buy a whole nother ball, especially when I have this much left over. I'm not gonna go buy another ball just to make contrasting colors because I don't mind. But if you do, you do what you need to do. But here I did do something different. So for these socks, when I was about to start the heel flap, I dropped the color that I was working with the sock and I picked up the other end of the ball and I did the heel flap with that end, only the heel flap and the heel turn. And then when I was about to join in, I cut off that one and I joined back in with the color that I was already working with, the whole sock that I had left there. So like that, you're not going to disrupt the stripes. So this one didn't get disrupted. You will have, your stripes are going to be a bit thinner, but that's going to happen anyway, unless you do an afterthought heel or something like that. Because you're going to have more stitches as you're decreasing and decreasing, and then you go back to the same size, you know, tube that you have been working with. So because you have to, you know, you're not going to have the same amount of stitches, it's going to have a slightly thinner stripe. But because as you can see, let me see, you can see that stripe is that thick, and then down here it's a little bit thinner. You can see the difference. Does it really matter? At least not to me. But if it does to you, that is an option. So I wanted to try that because I thought about it and I was like, well, let me see if it makes that much of a difference, if I'm gonna mind that much. And it's not that much more trouble, but there is a little bit, because then for the next sock you need to find, you're gonna have to find the same one, because I do like them to match. So I did have to find the very beginning of the round of the end of the ball. I needed to find the same stripe combination so then I could make them match for the heel flap. But then everything else, you know, it stayed the same because I did match the top. And was it these socks? No, it was the other socks that I'll show you. I'll show you something else that Alexandra said and it made so much sense, and I don't think why I hadn't thought about it. But these are the colorway Owl. I really do like them. These are 64 stitches and 2.5s, and everything else is about the same. I always make the men's socks that I make. Whew, I feel like I talked so fast. Don't even know how long I've talked about socks. So if you are not a sock knitter, I am so sorry. You probably had to read. So let's get the socks out of the way. Actually, I was gonna do these last, but these ones are mine. These are my October socks. I already finished them. I started them, I think, on the 1st, and they are done because I use Patton's Croy socks, and the colorway is mid-century stripes. I use the same colorway for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. I made her the same pair of socks, and she knew the color. She knew I was gonna make them at some point, and she knew that I love the color. So it wasn't quite a surprise, but I told her I need to go buy the same colorway because I loved them so much. And so on Mother's Day, she surprised me with 2 balls because she's like, don't go buy it. You made me socks. I will buy you. I mean, here are your balls of yarn. you can have the yarn. So that was super sweet. And I had saved it up until it was kind of fall, because I do feel like these colors are fall colors. And here's one sock. These are not blocked because I finished them, I don't know, 2 days ago or so. And they are for me, so I'm kind of debating whether I want to block them, because once you put them on your feet, it's not going to make a difference. I mean, blocked socks do look so cute, but they were not going to be dry by today because I was blocking last night. So I figured, well, let's just show them like this. I don't know if maybe here you'll be able to see better the ridge that those knit stitches make, that garter stitch ridge that makes right there along that side and then along this side. This one I didn't do anything different. I didn't change anything. I didn't care about disrupting the stripes. But the funny thing is, I started at the same place, and as you can see, they were the same, and then they stopped being the same. And I'm not really sure what happened, other than the ball. No. So I'm not really sure what happened, because they started exactly the same, as you can see. And they were going good, and then they started changing. And even though I do like the same socks, I was not gonna buy, like, no. They look completely different, but the stripes are subtle enough that I'm not gonna mind. So I really don't care. But I was going to tell you about the starter. At the beginning, as you can see, it has a tiny bit, I don't know if you can see, but it has a little bit of a color, and then it goes into the next color. And I was watching Alexandra from Fiberbound, and she mentioned how for her to figure out the color, and to do that little top, like the top rim almost, she starts she does a slip stitch. Well, I do a slip stitch to start my cast on. And she does it right in the middle between a 2 color change. You just do it right there in the middle of a of a color change. And then you get that little ridge, which is really cute. And then you know that it's going to be the right color. Then you're matching, except when you're not. Even though you tried, even though you did it. But I don't care. And these are super, super nice. I want to say that these Croy socks, I'm not fingering. It tells you, I believe, it tells you that they are, or maybe they just say sock. Let me see. Well, it says super fine as the weight denominate, like the weight for these. I don't believe they are. These come in 50-gram balls. And I feel like they're more like sport weight. Because this is like, because I have like this much left. And I feel like when you have that much left, that cannot be, you know, that can't be a fingering weight. It says super fine, but I don't believe it. Plus they feel thicker. They do feel, they do feel thicker, but they're super nice, and they're not, I mean, they're soft, but they're not super soft. And I like that. I like that it feels more woolly. So these are it, and they are being housed in my my campers or camping bag from the Knitted Soiree from my friend Jenna Lee, and I love her bags, and I can't wait until she comes out with her Christmas one, because that's what I want. So those are, don't worry, those were all my socks. But I do believe I forgot something that I need to go get. Just a minute. Magic! I am back. So, oh, sorry. I'm back. And the next thing that I finished is another gift. So you can see I only had one sock that I made myself, my October socks. And now we're going back to gifts. And this one is the Rusko hat by Anna from Annie Yuti Knits. And it's her newest pattern that she just came up with. She just came out with this pattern. As you can see, that's the very top. It has a very big rim. It's a 1x1 rim. Yeah, it's a 1x1 rib. And it's a super fun and easy pattern if you want a good hat. And it comes from size little baby to all the way to adult large. These are, I made it in a medium. And this is another gift. And let me talk to you about the yarn. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I found the Yarn Bee, Chloe. And this is colorway Royal Orchid, which I thought it was very cute. This is not, let me tell you, it's 70% wool and 30% viscose. Makes it, it's soft, not super soft, but I think it's soft enough for your head. Like it's a pretty soft yarn. And I wasn't sure if it was gonna make any stripes. It does make some stripes, but I think they're very subtle and it looks really cute. And it's gonna go to a woman, and I am happy with it. I think this is a great pattern, very easy to follow, to do, and I like the fact that it comes with so many sizes, because I might make another one for my niece. I haven't decided yet, but definitely it's a good pattern. So this is a Rusco hat. And do I have anything else to say other than I thought I was going to need 2 balls, but I didn't. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, so I need to return this because I don't think I'm going to use it. Mostly because I don't use that yarn very often other than when I give gifts. I try to go and try out different yarns when I'm making gifts for people. But yeah, so this is the hat and it's ready to go. It was very quick. It probably took me, I don't know, 2 nights maybe, or a day, depending, I don't know how many hours, but you know, it didn't take very long. It is easy, cute, and I'm not going to put it on because as you can see, that's not going to happen. But yes. Oh, and this I believe it is a worsted weight. Yeah, it's a worsted weight, which is what calls in the pattern. I believe it calls for worsted. So I follow the pattern. I did not swatch. Surprise, surprise, but it's a hat, so I didn't want to swatch. And it fits my husband, so I'm guessing it's going to fit the other person because my husband has a normal size head. So I'm guessing it'll be just fine. So that's another FO. The next one that I'm going to talk about, I don't have with me because I already went to the baby shower and I gave it away. But I'll put a picture here. I made the Anchor's Jacket by Petite Knit. Definitely to be entered into Lucy's and Alexandra's KAL. So Lucy from This Nanny Knits and Alexandra from Fiberbound. Oh my goodness, Alexandra, I've been talking so much about you. Only good things. They are running a KAL that I believe it ends this Saturday on the 9th. It's going to end this weekend and it's all about Anchor's Obsessed. It's called Anchor's Obsessed KAL. And if you know Petite Knit has a lot of Anchor something pattern. So you could choose any of them and you could make it in any size you wanted. And I knew that I wasn't going to have time to make something big, but I did know I had a baby shower. My cousin is having her first baby and it's a boy. And let me go get the yarn actually that I use. I have so many things here and still I forget things. So this is the yarn I used. No surprise, this is the acrylic one that I do like from Hobby Lobby. It's Baby Bee Sweet Delights. And this is the color teal. Let me check. Teal 2. That's the color. Not 2 as the number, but 2, T-O-O. So I think this color is so cute. It's blue and teal, but not super bright. It is a very pretty color, and I put some buttons and she loved it. I made the 3 to 6 months, and that one calls for a DK and this is DK. and I got gauge. I did check the gauge just to make sure, because I didn't do a gauge swatch, but after I knitted it, I checked the gauge. So I could tell her this is going to be a 3 to 6 months, not you need to wear it now because it's newborn. Or like the baby needs to wear it right after because it's newborn. No, I knew that it was the right size. So it's very quick knit. I have made, if you saw maybe 2 episodes ago, I did a throwback project segment where I talk about projects that I've made a long time ago that can have a little highlight on the podcast. And I showed you the 2 anchor sweaters that I had made for my 2 boys. And this was a cardigan, but it was super fun. This one you don't do in the round, you do it back and forth, and you start at the top. So you do the yoke first, then the body, and then the sleeves. And it's very good. It's very easy. I highly recommend. I mean, if you've been knitting for a while, I am sure you have heard of Petite Knit, and you have heard, I have made several of her patterns, so they're really, really good. And this one is a very easy one to follow. I feel like some of the Scandinavian, I'm sorry, I have left. Some of the Scandinavian patterns sometimes can be it takes you a little time to figure them out because of they are used to knitting so much more than we are. They learn from when they're young, so their patterns don't hold your hand as much. They don't tell you all the details in every single step. They assume you know some of them, so the wording can be a little bit difficult, but don't be scared. I think if you take one step at a time, I think it's doable to understand them. But this one is not like that. Like this one, it's very straightforward. It's not a hard pattern at all. And so you can just make it. So if this is going to be one of your first Petite Knit patterns, I would highly recommend the Anchor's jacket. I think that's all I had to say about that one. Yes. All right. Woohoo! Look at that. Now, let me tell you about this shawl. So this is the Shawlette, really. It's the Pebble Beach Shawlette by Helen Stewart. And this is also a gift. And as you can see, it's really small, but it's definitely perfect to just put around your neck. Or if you're really petite, it can go on your back, and it's really pretty. It also has the curls on the sides because of the way that it's done. This one does not have a hump because it already starts the whole pattern. It starts with more with a yarn over right here. So it starts so then you won't have a hump at all. And I really like that because I didn't have to modify anything. I did mess up, not that you can tell, I just did like an extra 4 rows maybe, because I was just happily knitting, just watching something, or I don't know what I was doing, but I was just knitting, and then I realized I needed to start the next section. So as you can see, it's done in like 3 sections pretty much. Here is the eyelets, and then you start kind of like yarn overs, and then you do kind of like the border. And I was supposed to start like these yarn overs. Oh man, I was supposed to start like these yarn overs like up here, but I was just knitting. But then I was like, I'm not gonna rip back 4 or 5. I can't remember how many there were. I was like, oh, I'll just pretend that those are just, I mean, it wasn't going to do anything other than making it a little deeper, a little longer. It really didn't make any difference. So yeah, and I'm sure that because there's the shawl and the Shawlette, I'm sure the other one, it's like that. You just keep going longer and you do that section later. So it really didn't make a difference. It wasn't going to mess up the pattern. And so with the picot bind off, which I absolutely love. I mean, of course it takes longer to block because I like pulling each one of the picot, you know, so they can look beautiful like that. But see, you can see how pretty it is. But it's worth it. I finished this in 2 days. I'm not even joking. This was really fast, really easy. And, you know, these are just, they're very easy eyelets. They're not hard. And it is another, if you want to try a really small shawl, this is a great pattern. This is the Shawlette. And it uses about 50 grams of skein. So you can get 2 out of them. I used Sewrella, I really don't know, Sewrella Yarn, and this was from their Taylor Swift collection, and it's called Gold Rush, and I love it. It is a tonal, but you can see there's a little bit of a different color right here and right here. It's not, I mean, somebody might call it pooling, and it's a little bit of pooling. I don't mind. I don't think it looks bad, especially because this is it has lace, so you can't really see it that much. And I was not going to be alternating skeins for a shawl, not when I don't think it looks bad. So, whew, this is the Pebble Beach Shawlette. You can look it up for shawl. I will put all of them down below. I will make sure that there's links, and I'll have a link to Sewrella. They do not have this colorway anymore because it was a Taylor Swift collection that it's gone and all done, but they do similar colors. They're not going to be exactly the same, but they do have, like right now they have their fall collection, and there is a color pretty similar to this. I don't remember the name, but it's not going to be called Gold Rush. It's going to be called something else, but it's similar. If you want kind of like this color vibe, which, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. I love this color. So that is also a gift. I think we're getting to the end. We might be going to the very last thing. So this last one, it's for my niece. I know that she's not gonna watch this. She's 2 years old, but I made the 3 to 4 year old size because I want her something that can last a little bit longer. Even if it's a little bit big this winter, she can wear it definitely next year. And this is the Kaikuya. I asked Anna how to say it, and even then I'm not 100%. Kaikuya, I think. Mini. So she has 2 of them. She has a bigger size, and then she has the mini. And this is from Anna, from Annie Beauty Knits. Oh, sorry, it's been, I haven't blocked it. It's all in acrylic, and you know, I mean, blocking an acrylic knit doesn't make much of a difference. It does make some things lay flatter, but I still think that I'm gonna block it just in case. But this is it. Look how cute. I mean, talk about bright, talk about fun. My daughter saw this and she was in love. I mean, this pink, it's her favorite. I like more the lighter pink. So I was debating whether I wanted to use the lighter pink as the main color and then do these parts, those ones that are in lighter pink. I would have done them in darker pink. But I think it's such a fun color. I wanted it bright, and she's gonna look gorgeous in this color. I know, because she looks cute in pink, and she's gonna look so cute. I need to put my tag up here. I did do the short rows that come on the back. You can't really see them. They're right here under the color work, which is really nice. Doing it there instead of up here. I kind of like the look of it better, and you still get the short row shaping, but it's below the color work, which makes it really, really cute. You don't have anything disturbed. You don't have a longer part right here with no color work, because sometimes if you do the short rows, you will have like a whole section of nothing, which is not a big deal. It's on the back of your neck. No one's gonna care. But I think it kind of gave it. So this is the back, and this is the front. And that was super fun. I finished that, I don't know, 3 days, maybe 3-4 days. And I thought it was, and I played yarn chicken, but I won, which I am so glad. I made both sleeves at the same time, so I just had them all both like in a big long like cable. Yeah, and I got gauge on with this, and I used the recommended needle size, so whatever that is on the pattern, that's what I used. I didn't do any modifications. I made it as long as it asked because it was perfect. That's gonna fit her so well, and it has a twisted rib for the cuffs and the hem and for the collar, and it's so good. Like, it's just a very good written pattern and I love it. I'm gonna make another one. My daughter wants one and she wants it in the same exact colors, so I do have leftovers. So let's talk about the yarn. And you know, I love this yarn. It's just such a good economical and yet a good acrylic. I think it is good. Why go look for more? I mean, I know Knit Picks also has some good acrylic, but then I have to order it. This, it was like, let's go to Hobby Lobby and I want to make this and let's go see if I can find something I liked. And I played with different colors, and like I said, I was thinking of making the whole thing of this the main color, but in my mind it just, I like to sometimes go with my gut. Like, I know what colors go well together. I've always been good at putting colors together, so I'm like, I need to go with what my gut tells me, like what's good. And most of the time I don't think I've ever been like, ugh, this is horrible. So I am extremely happy. Yes, it's not super striking, the contrast, but that's actually what I like. I love this, what it looks up here. It feels like an ice cream cone with like vanilla and strawberry and like sprinkles. I don't know if that like makes you think of that, but it makes me think of that. And I really do love it. I think the other way around could have looked good too, but this really makes me happy. So the colorways, I believe I don't have the pink one anymore. I don't have any of it. I might have like this much. I won Yarn Chicken, but I can tell you because I did write it down. So the bright pink is called Little Princess. Then the light pink is called Boo Pink. And this one's called Naked, which is the off-white. I particularly don't love a white. I prefer off-white. So I almost never ever buy straight white unless I have to. But I like the, I don't know, I just like it off-white more. And I like this, and like this feels more like a vanilla, you know, not so much like straight up snow. If I'm making any sense. Do you feel that way? I mean, I think, who was I watching? Oh, I was watching Anastasia from Free Your Sheep, and she's like, I want a white, a strike white, like a white, really striking white. And I'm like, no, because she's that, I don't want an off-white. Maybe for the, I don't know if she prefers always white and she doesn't like the off-white. She said, I don't want an off-white. I don't want that yellowy tone. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's what I would want. But we're different. So I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying, for me, I know what I prefer. So this is the Kaikuya. Let's pretend I said it right. She is Finnish and she is the loveliest. You know, she has a podcast, Anina, and I love her podcast and I love her. Like, I want to go meet her and I want to hang out with her. And I feel like that with a lot of the podcasts that I watch, that I'm like, it is amazing. And I love the fact that we can watch each other and we can watch people from other countries and hear a little bit about their culture. I like to hear their accents. I like to hear how they say things. I love that because I love other cultures. I love other accents. I love just people. I just love people. But then it makes you realize there's a chance you're never going to meet them. So it's kind of heartbreaking at the same time. It's like Ruth and I, we got together over Zoom to figure out the prize winners. And we were having so much fun. I mean, the prizes and figuring that out was quick. And then we stayed another hour just talking about our lives and just stories. and we just laughed, and she talked to my family, she met my husband, and I'm thinking, am I ever going to actually meet her in real life? And it's kind of heartbreaking to think there's a chance you will, because I do want to go to the UK so badly, but at the same time, like, I have no idea when. So I don't know. I mean, at least we're friends from the distance. But yeah, I don't know. This was beautiful, and I will be making another one. I think I'm gonna make one for my daughter for Christmas as a surprise. Though I don't know how I can do it. She goes to sleep. I'll work on it at night. But yes, so this is beautiful, and I love it. I can't wait to see my niece in it. So that was my last FO. I was busy, as you can see, with like smaller projects, but I finished lots of them. And let's move on to the prize winners. So I'm going to talk first my Ravelry. I was in charge of Ravelry. Not that, I mean, we say in charge, but Ruth was in there just as much as I was, and I was looking at Instagram just as much as she was. So in all reality, we did both, and it was great. The only thing we didn't do is we didn't do an FO thread for the hashtag on Instagram. So that made it a little bit more difficult to count and like to figure it out, but we still got it done really quick. I'm an optimist. So when she said, oh no, we have to count all this, I was like, it'll be okay. And it was, and we had fun. So let's talk about Ravelry. I have the first winner. It's for the FO thread. So for the winners, we have 4. If you win, please contact me. You can send me a message, private message, through Instagram or email me at littlemonkeysandme@gmail.com. Please don't send me a message through Ravelry. I may or may not see it. I'm giving you a month from today, so November 6th, we will revisit the whole thing. Like, if somebody hasn't claimed their prize, I will draw another winner. Mostly because, well, 1, I don't want to be chasing people. 2, because I think a month is pretty good. We're all busy. You may not watch my video up, like when it's up right away. So I think a month is pretty good. I mean, as it is, I'm catching up on a bunch of a podcast, because I feel like I'm so late with some of my friends' podcasts and like new podcasts that I'm checking out. So I'll give you a month. So the first winner is for the finished object thread, and she entered the Mooncat shawl. I am actually going to put a screenshot of the winning, like with the finished object. And this is Debbie, and her handle on Ravelry is Debbie Amy. And she won a $100 gift card to the Woolly Thistle. I hope you're excited, because I want that. I wish I could win $100 to the Woolly Thistle. So if you've been around, you know that I buy a lot of my European, mostly UK, yarns through the Woolly Thistle. And they contacted me a long time ago at the beginning of the KAL, and they said, we would love to offer a $100 gift card. And I was floored. I can't even. I was so thankful. And because I think that's an excellent price. So please contact me so then I can contact them and we can get that going. So congratulations. She made a beautiful shawl, and I probably already showed you the picture. Then the next one is from the chat thread. We were very blessed to receive quite a bit of prices, and then I know that Ruth got a lot from her stash, and I went and bought a lot of the things. So I will let you know what I buy and the things that were gifted because I always want to be transparent. I want you to know what it's been gifted. I don't want you to think that everything is like came out of my pocket, and also I don't want you to think everything has been gifted, because I did buy some of these things with my own money. So I just want to tell you where they come from, because I also want you to know how grateful I am to the people who have volunteered their time, their resources, their things to participate in this, and to, you know, yes, I get to mention their shops, but I I'm so grateful for them to give of the things they have to give away to you. So it doesn't go unnoticed for sure. Now for the chat thread, and this is Megan, and her handle is Polka. I put it right here. I think that's how you would say it. I'm not sure. And if I butcher some of your names, I am so sorry. That's why I'm writing it down and I'm putting a picture, because I don't feel offended. She was working on the Bronte's sister shawl, and she got, which price was it? Oh my. Oh, this one. Oh, I even wrote it down. So this is for Megan. So I bought these of my own money. So these are from Sassafras Knits, I believe. So yeah, Sassafras Knits. It's some beautiful markers. This was gifted by Natalie from Blush Yarns, my beautiful friend. She is amazing, and this is beautiful. And this one I bought, and this from Sewrella. Don't know. If you know, tell me please. Sewrella, and this was from their summer collection, and this is the color Mojito, which I absolutely love. So congratulations, you two, to both of you. I hope you're happy. Please, Megan, contact me through my email or Instagram so I can know where to send it. So you can give me your address, and I will try to send as soon as I can. And if you're out of the country, it's gonna be like the slowest way possible. It might be the slowest, but like the cheapest, because otherwise I would be spending so much money on shipping. And I love you all, but yarn does not expire, so it does not have to be there at exact time, right? So I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible. I will try to send it to you. So let's move on to our whips, and then I'll tell you the Instagram winners. So whips. Ooh, that's okay. All right, I have to go get them. Whips, I got them. The first one, it is on my Blue Rabbit House bag that you know that I love. Still want to order another one. I will, I'm sure. And let's talk about, you know what's in here? Well, you probably don't know, but my chestnut is housed in here. So Nikki from Knitting with Cat Hair is hosting a Marie Wallen KAL for a whole year. So I'm taking my time with this. I could work really hard. Like I could probably whip this up really quickly, but I'm not going to. I'm enjoying it. And also because there's so many other things I want to knit that what's the point of hurrying when there is a whole year? So last time when we saw each other, I was here and I did this in like 2 days, and I haven't touched it since. Because as you can see, I made a million other things. But look how pretty it's looking. Last time I told you all about the yarn. So if you want to go check out last episode, and also a project page on my Ravelry. I have a link to my Ravelry if you can access Ravelry. If not, go watch my last episode, and I tell you about the yarn and, you know, all those things. So I made good progress. I am not quite done with the chart. I know that I have to repeat the chart a few times, but I think it's gorgeous. I love it so much. So this is the back piece. It's going to be done in pieces, and this is the back piece. So I still have so much to go, but I'm not in a hurry. I don't mind having to whip for a while. I am enjoying every minute when I work on this, which now that I finished a bunch of gifts, I am going to have time. Maybe, because something is happening on Friday. But yes. So this is the chestnut. I have made progress, which is what matters. It's not a race, but that's where we were. So now I'm actually going to move it right now so we can figure it out if I work on it at all from here to whenever I do it again. So let me put it up here now. All right, so now I moved it, and we can know how much I work on next. So that is one whip I want to show you. Then another one that I haven't shown in a very long time. This is one of Amy's bags from Noble Character Crafts. And this is her bag. I bought a little while ago. It's so pretty. Actually, this was my first bought project bag that I've ever bought. This is my very first one. I made my first one, but this is the first one that I bought. And it's going from there. Now I understand why people have project bags. Before I was like, why? Now I'm like, oh, now you can house like one project in one bag instead of having a bunch in a tote bag and then they all get tangled and, you know. But a while back I showed you this shawl that I'm making for my daughter. This is called the Potpourri Shawl by Fox and Folk. And it's kind of like, it's going to be a square. It's not done, as you could, that's why it's a whip. But this is what it looks like. I think the last time I showed you, it was like way down there. Oh, sorry. That's the back of it. This is the front. And I have to, it's a good size. And I have to do the border. And the border is going to be in this color. So it's going to be kind of like an off-white. This is not the white because I cannot go with the white. So this is done with the Holst yarn. And this color is ecru or ecru. It's the off-white one. And then the other one, the yellow one, is called Sunrise. And I love it. So Holst yarn, it's quite affordable. Even here in the United States, you can still find it quite affordable. If you can find, I think Yarnery, I think that's where I bought it the first time. I think that's where I got it from. And it's more affordable than, you know, it's 100% wool. You have to know that it is not, even though it's called Holst Super Soft, because that's what this one is. It's the Super Soft base, which is their fingering weight. It's not super soft until you wash it, and then it's softer, but it's not gonna be a merino soft. So, but that's what happens with like 100% yarn, like 100% wool. You're gonna have a little bit of woolly, I mean, there are some wools that are really soft. Merino is wool, but this is gonna be a little bit more rough, but it's not rough. Like, to me, this is still soft, and it blooms beautifully. Like, I heard about that so many times. People saying, you know, because this has a lot of spinning oils, when you're working with it, it's like, it's pretty rough on your hand. Like, it doesn't bother me, but you know, it's not soft in your hands. But then you wash it and it does plump up and it does fill in and it does look so much more beautiful. It is, I'm so excited for my daughter. So you can wear this, you know, kind of like a half wrap like this. Or I think in the pictures they have it like a triangle, kind of like this. And my daughter's 8 and she's, you know, she's really small. She's tall but thin. So this, she's so excited for this, guys. I mean, she knows it's coming. And sometimes she's like, you're starting a new project, but what about my shawl? And I'm like, listen, it'll be done. It will get done. So I just wanted to show you that there is progress in this shawl. Finally, I sat down one day and I finished it, and then I blocked it, and now it's waiting for its border. Now here, my last, you know, I was gonna have a lot more whips, but then I kept finishing everything I was making. I thought I was gonna have whips of socks. My last one, it's in this very special bag. So my friend Lee from the Knitted Soiree, she gave a bag as one of the prizes, and I'll show you the bag in a minute when we've talked about the next prize winners. And when she sent the bag, she also sent me this and then a few goodies and a stitch marker that I'll show you at some point because I don't have it here with me. And she said she couldn't believe I was a muggle because she knows we both really like Harry Potter. So she said that she couldn't believe I was a muggle because I knit so fast. So And if you know anything about Mrs. Weasley, she is a witch and she knits. So she said that it inspired her to make this bag that is called Mrs. Weasley's Burrow. Burrow is the name of their house or nickname of their house. So she gave me this, and it was so touched. Of course, I already said thank you to Dolly. I was not expecting that. She was already gifting something for the KAL. I was not expecting the gift, and I almost cried, but it didn't. I mean, I'm a crier, so that's no surprise, but thank you. It's just so precious. Every time I use it now, I just think of her and her kindness and her love, and I love it because I also love Mrs. Weasley. So I started a new project finally. So this, if you were here, I don't know, episodes and episodes ago, I don't remember what I talk about in every episode. I can hardly remember what I did yesterday, and I have to write everything down, otherwise you wouldn't get anything on the podcast. Many episodes ago, I talked about the mittens that I wanted to make, and I bought the yarn and everything. So here's the yarn. It is from Jameson & Smith. And this one is a ball because my dog got to it. Luna loves yarn, especially if it's 100% wool. If it's 100% wool, the smell just drives her crazy, which I get it. I'm like, I understand. Here's the last one. So this is yellow. This yellow, it's colored 91. That red one, it's colored 1403. This one is their 1A, I believe. I wrote it down. No worries. 1A. It's the off-white, which I also use in my chestnut. It's gonna be off-white. It's never gonna be white. And then my dark gray, it's number 54. So what am I making with them? These. So I finished one. I finished it last night, so it's not blocked or anything, because then it would for sure be like still wet today. These are the Sagostad. I think that's how you say it. Sagostad mittens by Sophia Kammenborn. And if you haven't seen the Kammenbornia podcast, I highly recommend it. So she is Swedish and her podcast is in Swedish, but she is amazing, and she writes out the subtitles, which is something that I still want to do in Spanish though. But I have tried the Spanish, like the subtitles that maybe YouTube will do automatically. I finally figured out how to do that. Then I looked at it and I was embarrassed to even put that on my channel. I was like, there is no way a native speaker as myself can put that as Spanish. I was like, no, that's not happening. So my goal, which maybe during the summer, during the time that we're off of school, I want to go back and start writing, which means I have to watch the episode again, which means I have to go and look, and I have to kind of like go and write out all of them in Spanish. But I want to, because it is my native language. I don't see myself making two different podcasts, one in Spanish and one in English, because as it is, I can barely keep up with this. So that's not gonna happen. But enough talking. She does hers. There's a small intro in English, but then you have to turn on the subtitles. So it's something that you either have to, if you know how to knit without looking, then you can be reading the subtitles, or you have to just watch it. They're usually like 30-35 minutes, and they're a joy. She does an amazing job putting those together, and they just, I don't know, they're quite inspiring to me. I believe that as makers, we find inspiration in all different areas in our lives. Sometimes, you know, on the mundane things that we do, I find inspiration. I find inspiration in nature, definitely by watching other podcasts. And hers is one of them that just inspires me to create. So that was a long thing just to say that this is her pattern. And I saw this pattern, I bought it maybe in February. And I bought the yarn soon after because it was going to be something I really wanted to make. And I was in love. So let me show you how they fit. So I've made one. I haven't even started the other one. The other thing I would have to say, because she just came out with another, or she's about to come out with I mean, she has different mittens, but look how cute these are. Oh my goodness. I just can't. This is exactly, like, I am so happy. I'm speechless because of how much I love these. It is exactly what I love. You see, red is my favorite color, but I don't wear red because I don't like the way I look in red. Like, it makes me feel weird. Like, I'm not saying I look ugly because I don't think I'm ugly. So I don't think I look ugly, but maybe, did that sound too conceited? I'm trying to say I don't believe I'm ugly. Okay, I'm not saying I look ugly or anything. I just think that I look strange when I look at myself when I'm wearing a lot of red. But I do love red, and pink, it's definitely the closer, you know, my next close second favorite color. And I actually do like the way I look in pink. So I wear pink a whole lot more than red. But this combination, it's one of the combinations that she put together. She did use other, I think she believes she used Aroma Fino, maybe. I don't remember the one that she was wearing. The one she used for the pattern. But I just use Jameson and Smith because it is a lot easier for me to acquire that. And I just try to get the colors as close as possible, and I think I did a pretty good job. So this is Sagostad mittens. They're named after a city in Sweden, I believe. And it is, these are gorgeous. So I did make a mistake, but I did not go back for it. Sometimes I do rip back, sometimes I don't. I don't think you can even tell. I showed it to my husband. I was like, can you find the mistake? And he's like, how am I supposed to? I was like, it's noticeable if you know where it is. But I'm going to tell you because we don't need to pretend we're perfect because no one is. So let me show you. So right here, do you see these two rows? This should be alternating. They're not alternating. And when I noticed, I was up here. I already had separated for the thumb, and I was like up here. And I look back down, and I'm like, oh no, those two rows of like snowflakes or little hearts, but these are supposed to be snowflakes. These two rows are on top of each other, and they shouldn't. They should be staggered. I looked at it, and it bothered me. Of course, like it bothered me for a second, like, ugh. And then I was like, really? Like, it's not gonna matter. I'm not gonna rip back because I was having fun, but also ripping back. And this yarn too, that it's like super grippy, which I love. But I was like, I'm not gonna rip back. First of all, when somebody is wearing them, no one would be able to tell. And even I know, I don't care. It looks beautiful, and I love them so much. Like, I love them so much. So these are my Sagostad mitten. Well, one mitt. And I will be starting the next one. It finishes with, so it's a really cool construction, actually. This, as you can see, this has like a picot edge that lifts, which is super cute. I have done that edging before. I can't tell you because this is a paid for pattern, but I can't tell you. But you start from here, and then you go up, and then you come back and you pick up stitches and you do the ribbing. And then you finish with a tubular cast off, a 1x1 tubular cast off, which is, it's fun. I mean, I always have to remember how to like do the setup, and then after that I remember how to do it. And then I'm always so impressed at the finishing that it gives you. It's so beautiful. It makes such a good finish, and so it's just so neat. So these are the beautiful mittens. I hope that you love them as much as me. I put up my work, I think yesterday. I put it up on Instagram, and then Laura from Penrose Knits, or the Knit and Pickle, she said, I love them. So maybe she'll have some in her next spot. She's also a fast knitter, so she might have a whole pair by the time she podcasts again. And so I loved it. It was a very easy pattern. The only thing is that this is one size pattern. It does not have another size. And if you have bigger hands than me, which is a very big chance because I do not have big hands, mine might be a little chubby and a little stubby, fluffy, but they're not big hands. So for me, it fits like right there, my tip. Like you could make them long, but to me that's perfect. I don't want them super long, but for that you just have to make them longer, unless you have like really big wrists, but I don't think so. Now I don't have really small wrists, so I don't know how that would work with somebody, because you don't want them to be flying off. For me, they fit perfect. Now you can make them longer, and I'm not really sure what you would have to do here, because you already work them on a 2mm needle, which is as size 0, US 0. So you might have to go down even more, double 0. That's crazy. But I don't know. She has other patterns though that have different sizes. So she's working on one right now that she has, like she's making like 3 different sizes. So maybe something like that. I'm not really sure. What else I wanted to tell you? Oh, so I used my circular. That's what I was going to tell you about. How did I make this? I made them on my 9-inch circulars. I have 9-inch circulars that are size 2mm, and they're fixed. I don't have the mini yet. Oh, that's not it. I don't have the mini set yet. I have Chiago interchangeable for sizes, what are they? 3, no, 4 through 8, I believe. But US 4 to 8. But I don't think I mean, I don't have the mini yet, which has the really little ones, but I do have a fixed one of it in case I ever made socks that small. I hadn't used it until now. Oh, and I probably also bought it for this. I don't remember. I bought them a long time ago. So I did use these. It was a little tight because you're doing color work and really small needles. But let me tell you, not having to worry about this, like the edges, as you can see, are super smooth. I mean, this is not even blocked yet. I loved it. I love that you can just go in circles. You don't have to worry about floats, because you will have, you know, a little bit of floats. And it makes everything look really smooth and nice. And on the thumb, I just used a normal needle. She uses double pointed needles. That's never gonna happen. I'm not gonna make them in double pointed needles. But if you are curious to see the floats, this is what they look like. But in here, I just carried the yarn, the white one. I did not cut. And it's already, of course, they're all weaved in. I actually like weaving in ends. Am I the only one? I know some people do it because otherwise they won't do it later. No, but I genuinely like it. I enjoy it. I think I'm excited till the end of the project. Sometimes I do it during the project because I just want to. But I'm excited to be done and like actually get it, because to me it's like it's part of the finishing process, and I just love making it look all neat and pretty. So these are it. I did use these, and then I used a fixed one that I had also for, because at one point this part, when you do that little picot thing, you have to have 2. So just so you know, you're gonna have to have at least two needle sets, or 2 sets of needles to be able to do it. And then afterwards you can just do it. And you can definitely do this in magic loop. It's not difficult, but I wanted it to be even easier. So I just did them on a 9-inch. And I'm excited to do the other one. So let's move on to the next section, because I know that I've been talking for so long. My last section is acquisitions, but also, oh no, I have to do the prices. That's right. So let me do the Instagram prices. So for our finished object price, sorry for the rustling, but I don't want to take it out. Generally did such a beautiful job here. So for our finished object, we have this price. So this bag is from Generally from the Knitted Soiree. This was gifted by Natalie from Blush Yarns, and this I bought. This is a DK actually. Classic DK from Sewrella, and I bought this one. And this one goes to Mocha Latte Yaya, who is Betty Bennett on Instagram. and she made the Stillness shawl. I'm sure that's gonna be a picture right here of what she made. So yes, so this is what you win. I hope you like it. I would please contact me so then you can I can send these offer to you. And then the last winner, it is Diane Habrin, who is Neon Peach Knits. I will put information here. And she was working on the Vertices Unite shawl, and that was a chat. We don't have chats on Instagram, but it's like a works in progress kind of thing. And you get this. So you get the Moon and Turtle book, which looks like this, that I talked about. Woo! That I talked about a few episodes ago, or maybe last episode maybe. I talked about this book and I did make a project out of it. So you get this, obviously yours is brand new right here, and you get this. And this was gifted by a beautiful viewer. Her name is Andy. And this is called Tongues from Harry Potter. And this is from Linden Wool. So this is what you get. I hope that you like it. And congratulations to all the winners. I am floored by all the beautiful projects that you have made. I am so happy that you joined our KAL. Now, people have asked if we're doing another one or if this is a yearly thing. I'm making no promises. I know the same thing goes for Ruth. I don't know. I have no idea what next year brings. So let's just say we had fun. And I don't know if we're doing another one, but this was so good. So congratulations to all the winners. Please contact me at littlemonkeysandme@gmail.com or at my Instagram, which is littlemonkeysand_me. You can contact me there too. So I do have a few new things, and with that, we're talking about the Shawlography. So if you've been waiting to start, just like me, because you're dying to start, I have never made a Wes Knits or a Stephen West pattern. I've never made any of his patterns. Sorry, I never made any of his patterns. So I'm always like looking and thinking I need to make one of them. But I never commit to any of them. So for some people, it makes them really nervous not knowing what the pattern looks like. For me, it's actually really exciting because I think that's what kind of stopped me at times. It's seeing such a crazy design, which I think it's genius, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Plus the colors he chooses are not my color. I know I can change colors. I understand that, but it's just, sometimes it's hard to see past that and be like, yeah, that's the one I want to make. But this time I don't get to do that. I can't. The fact that I don't know what it looks like has me so excited. So I did pick 5 colors because you need 5 100 grams fingering weight. I did go a little off. It is still fingering, but it's not, he didn't ask for anything fluffy, but I wanted it, so I bought it, and I think I'm gonna love it. And if I don't, I can rub it back. That's the other thing. Like, a lot of people are, I don't know, I've seen a lot of people freaking out, and I'm like, you don't, well, one, you can join, you don't like it, you can rub back. Nothing bad will happen. It's for fun. It's just for fun. We can always use all these games on something else if we don't like it. So let me show you. 3 of these are already our new acquisitions for it. This one was Sewrella. Oopsie. So it does not have a name, doesn't have a colorway. It's just an oopsie. And it is kind of like, it's a tonal, and it's a lavender, like a light lavender color, and it's really pretty. I'm not much of a purple person, but as I'm wearing a purple shawl, but like this color I love, and then this one, so maybe I am purple person. I say I'm not, who knows. Then this one was also gifted by Andy. When she sent me this one, she sent me this one too, which was so nice. And this is from Twigs and Twine Yarn Co. And the color is Happy Birthday Harry. Last time I couldn't read it, like that one time, that time that she gave it to me. And then I don't know if it was her or the person, like somebody else told me. That's what it says. So this is really fun. It's gonna be kind of like a little variegated, but not too much, more like speckles. It has like light pink, a little darker pink, kind of like a teal. So I think these two would look really good. Then this one, this is another Sewrella. They're all Sewrella except for this one. Actually, I bought this color to make my grandma a shawl. I was gonna make her the Spindrift shawl that I just made for the other gift. And then I saw it and I fell in love with the color. I loved it. So this is called Vino, which means wine. And it is a dark red and more like burgundy color, which I just loved it at the moment. I hope that the colors are really good. I mean, the lighting right now, it's terrible. But this is called Vino, and it is actually right now in their fall collection. So they do collections per seasons that they are constantly replenishing, and then they do collections that are like one time. They work for it a long time. Those are pre-orders and you have to wait till it gets here. Well, these ones are not pre-orders. You order it and they're always making more until it's, you know, the fall collection is over, and which I don't know when, but they're still available and I love it. So I'm keeping it for the show. So that one was, I had already bought it for my grandma, but I hadn't started it yet because when I saw it, like I said, I fell in love and I was like, oh, maybe I need to wait and see. Because then I went ahead and bought these two. Okay, this is probably one of my most favorite colors in the world. It is almost like a rose, like a dark, I don't know. I'm not really good at describing colors. What is this called? Well, I'll tell you what it's called here. It's another Sewrella and it's called Studio. So that's what it's called. That doesn't really describe the color, but in this one is also in their fall collection. So you can go ahead and buy this one if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to. But I love, like, this is like a dark rose color. Like, I don't know. And then this one, it's in their Surrey alpaca. I was actually going to buy this color in the Surrey, but then I was like, no, this one. So this is super fluffy, but their Surrey alpaca, it's fingering weight. I mean, as you can see, it is way fluffier than the other one. Even though it's fingering, it's still going to give me a different gauge. Do I care? It's a shawl. I don't care. I'm going to go for it because it's called ceramic. Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is their, also right now in their fall collection. And then they have this color in fingering, like, not fingering, and merino, just in their normal sock merino. So you can go ahead and get it in their sock if you want, like this color. So these are the colors. Can you even see them? I don't even know because I can't see myself, but that's the color. Those are the colors, and it took me a while because originally I wanted to just use colors that I have, but I don't have that many. And the colors I was coming up with they didn't really go well together, or I knew I wasn't going to be able to wear them. So I'm so happy with these. Like, just these two together, they make me so happy. So that is my Shawlography. So are you joining? I want to hear all about it. I want to hear if you already have your colors, or if you order a kit and it's on its way, or if you already got your kit. I just want to know if you're joining, or if you're not joining, let me know too. That is totally fine. This is my first time. This is the 11th year that he's ever done this. I never even heard of it before because I wasn't really in the knitting community until a little over a year ago. That's when I started really coming back, like getting into the knitting community, and you're not getting me out of it. So let's talk about a few more things if we have time. If not, I can leave them, but I don't want to talk too much about it. But a while back, I knew I wanted to make some Christmas socks. And then I was talking to Jenna Lee, and Jenna Lee was like, isn't it crazy that I want 25 pairs of socks for Christmas? And I was like, that's not crazy. That is brilliant. I want that too. I want that goal. Not in this year though. Mostly because my wallet cannot take it. I could probably knit them from here till the end of like to like Christmas Day. I could probably make it. But it's mostly my wallet cannot handle it. But okay, so then I was in the hunt to buy a few Christmas sock sets. And here's the first one from Gypsy Soul Fibers. I have bought from her before once. And I love, like, hers are so plump and so nice. These are 80/20. That's probably why they're so plump. They're 80/20. And look at this colorway. It is called Vintage Christmas. And that is exactly what that reminds me of. Like this red, that's the kind of red that I love. And that green, oh, that whole thing is just... I'm trying to figure out when do I want to make it. I think I want to start knitting Christmas socks in December. So I've been kind of putting it off. Even though, believe me, I want to do it right now. So then I bought this one from Holly Press Fibers. And this is on her 75/25. Comes with a little mini, which is another kind of like the color that I like of red. And then look at how gorgeous this one is. I'm excited to see how that's gonna knit. You know, I'm more of tonals than variegated, but when it comes to socks, I'm good with anything. So I'm trying to figure it out if I want to make these into vanilla socks or if I just want them as I want to make some sort of pattern. Like I want to just get a pattern, and I don't know. So these are beautiful. Oh, and the color is Cornish Sleigh Ride, the colorway. I will link all of the shops below, so then you can go check them out. I don't know if they have any of the Christmas right now, because I feel like they have to go ahead and, like, you know, it takes time to knit, to dye. So I know that some of them are dyeing before, and I bought these like more than a month ago. So they weren't here for the last episode, but they got here right after. So that's why it seems like I bought all these things, but I mean, I kind of did, but not really. And the last one is from Felicity Yarn Studio, and she is Zoe. Zoe also has a podcast, and she is the sister of the Yarn Curator podcast, which I also love, and that is Naomi. So Zoe and Naomi, they both have different podcasts. They're not together, and I'll actually link them below because I like both of them. And look how gorgeous this is. First of all, look at that grain. I mean, if that doesn't make you happy. And this is done on a Tweety base, as you can see. Oh, and it comes with a cute like stitch progress keeper. And because of that, it gives you this effect that I just love. I don't know if she's dyeing anymore right now, but you can go check her out. I will put her Etsy shop below. And sweet, sweet Zoe, she sent a gift to you, which I'm saving, not for the KAL, because I already had enough for the KAL, but I'm saving this one. Oh, I'm not gonna take it out because it's not even open. I'm saving it for our 1 year our 1 year anniversary from podcasting. Let's just say, I don't even know what the word is. So look how pretty this is. Oh, I'm sorry for the rustling. I hope that you can see it without a reflection, but it is gorgeous. I'm not gonna take it out because it's sealed, but yeah, well, it's not gonna break. Oh, okay. I thought for a moment it was like sealed, but it's just, let me show you. Oh my goodness. She was so sweet. And this one is called Wild Things. And the small one is called Passionate. And this is her 75/25. Yeah. It's 463 yards for the 100 grams, the main one. Look how beautiful that is. So that one, it's going to be saved for that giveaway whenever we reach the 1 year. Plus, it's going to be 1 year, and it's going to be my birthday. So my birthday is December 31st, and the 1 year anniversary is December 30th. I did it. I started it the day before my birthday. I mean, if you've been here this whole time, you remember that I said that tomorrow is my birthday. So December 30th will be our 1 year, and then it will be my birthday the next day. So it'll be an altogether my birthday plus anniversary, and I will give that away for that. And then last but not least, I just wanted to show you this. I did not buy these, but if you remember, I had the knitted that I made my Grow shawl from, or Grow shawl, and I had 2 skeins or 2 plates left over, and my beautiful friend Nikki from Knitting with Cat Hair, she contacted me. She said, I am doing a test knit. Is there any, she asked me, she said, she said, is there any way that you could part with those beautiful, like if you have any leftover, would you part with that? And I said, of course. I was like, and so she exchanged me. She had some. So she sent me this color, which I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm just admiring the beauty of the gold yellowish color. It's probably going to, I don't know. I have no idea. And then this one, it's like a pink. I know what I'm making with these actually. I'm making some fingerless mitts for me. So they're going to go in this one. So I'll show you when they're done. And so that was from Nikki. And then Nikki, so sweet, she sent me this. So these are going to become socks, I believe, at some point. And this is a Socknado. That's the name of it. From Ancient Arts Yarns. And she said that they are dyed in Canada. Yeah, hand dyed in Canada. So this is the 80/20 fingering sock. So yeah, that's what fingering, yeah. And so this is a new acquisition. So I think that's it. I have 2, since I already mentioned 2 other podcasts, and I will mention 2 new podcasts that I've been watching. One of them is Bubbles and Berries by the lovely Ode. She is French, and I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. She is French, but she lives in Scotland, and we have become friends over on Instagram. I actually ordered her Christmas bag that she's doing. So if you don't know, she has a shop where she hand embroiders and then she sews the bags. And I've been wanting to buy one of her bags, and then I saw that she was doing a special like a special set with a yarn dyer there in Scotland, and they were going to put together a sock set and her hand embroidered, and it's like a Christmas tree. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy that one. So I very quickly, when I went on sale, I bought it. Well, she started a podcast, and she is brilliant. She's so sweet. I think she has episode 2, which I still haven't done. I've been reading a lot lately, so I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But so she has it. She only has 2, but I can't wait to watch the second one because the first one was so good. She has beautiful taste, and she's really, really sweet. She also sews. She just finished a shirt, I believe. I saw that on Instagram. So I'm really happy to see new people. Actually, no, I have 3 people to talk about. And the other one is a Crafter Tale podcast by Nina. She is from Germany, or she grew up in Germany, but then she moved, I think when she was 14 or so, to Sweden, I believe. Yes. And she lives there with her partner and their little kid, which is so, so, so fun. And yeah. And I have enjoyed it. She's a crafter, so not just a knitter. She is amazing. She does woodwork, and it is beautiful. Like I said, I love watching podcasts that are inspiring by all sorts of things, not just knitting, because, I love to create. So anything that makes it that you create, then I'm happy. The last one is Lauren Knits, and Lauren and I had become friends also on Instagram. She is from Scotland, and she has a beautiful Scottish accent. And she just put up her 3rd episode, I believe, which I need to go watch. Yes, she started and she's brand new, but she's so sweet. She is a mom of a little boy. She has a husband, and you know when you make friends on Instagram, and like I said, I wish I could meet her in person. Very sweet. And so those are the 3 I wanted to show or talk about, or 5 I guess I mentioned. So I hope that you have a great time, and I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know if there's any time to talk about, but I have been reading. That's why I haven't been watching some podcasts, because my husband and I, we watched the Hunger Game movies again. I haven't seen them in years, and I had read the books before the movies came out years and years and years ago. So I read them all before the movies, and I watched the movies and I was like, oh, that's right, those are really fun books. So then with my Kindle, I was reading and knitting, and that's why I finished so many socks, because I could just knit while I read. And I finished all 3 books in the first 2 books I read them in a day each. So then the 3rd book took me a little while because it was over the weekend and I was busy, but I just finished that last night, and now I feel like, now I'm sad because you know, sometimes you miss the world. Not that world was a happy world, but you know, when the author does a good job at creating this whole world, and then you love the characters, then it's hard to leave them. So that's what I've been up to. I will leave you with some footage of our 18 de septiembre, or Fiestas Patrias, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. Let me know if you're doing the Shawlography, the winners. Please let me, contact me, and happy knitting. Bye. Okay, so we're gonna put them together. At the bottom, you're gonna have pino, and this one is with the ground beef. And you do about half or so, like that. And we move to the next station, and it's gonna have half an egg of hard-boiled egg, and then this, and we like to put a piece of chicken in it too, and then we move to this section, and the corn is already mostly cooked, just cooked, so we're gonna put it into the oven with basil. Yeah, the corn has basil. So now we just it up, and it's all done. Un pastel de chocolate. As you can see, they're out, and that's exactly what it needs to look like. It needs to have, we put them inside this, so then all the juices get in here instead of falling on the actual, or inside the oven. But okay, so now we're gonna make empanadas, and here we have the pino that is made with the cut up meat, and then yeah, so it's very similar. You also put what's it called? Olive.
Hard-boiled egg.
You also put a hard-boiled egg,
and then you
close it. That's my dad talking. And then you put a little bit of water so it kind of glues it together. And then you close it. Yeah. And this is how I like to make mine. There's different ways of closing them. They'll look a bit different. Sometimes, depending on what you put inside, you will close it differently. And that goes here, and it's gonna go to the oven later.